One of the four criteria of capital lease determination is, has a bargain purchase option been written into the lease agreement? So let's take a look at exactly what this is. The four criteria: ownership transfer at end of lease, written option for a bargain purchase, the lease terms greater than or equal to 75% of the asset's economic life, or the lease payments, the present value of those payments is greater than or equal to 90% of the fair value of the asset. These are the four criteria, the tests that you look at. You only need to meet one. So we're going to look at the written bargain purchase option. Only one must be met. So for the lessor, you will subtract the present value of the BPO from the amount to be recovered from the lease. On the lessee side, it's just opposite. They will add the present value of the BPO to the capitalized leased asset and liability. So what does this mean? Well, looking at equipment, fair market value, $130,309, present value of the BPO. The BPO is $35,000, but what's that worth today? $24,674. So to be recovered through the lease payment is $105,635. So now it doesn't mean the lessor is getting less money. It just means that there will be an additional payment, the bargain purchase option. By writing it into the lease this way, it's a way to help your tenant lower their lease payments over the term of the lease. But the total is going to add up to the same. The equipment fair market value for the lessor, $133,009. The leased asset and liability on the lessee side is the same amount. We're just dividing this up into different components of what will be the total payments. So on January 1, 2013, Chance Company entered into a lease agreement with Luck Company for computer equipment which had a fair market value of $130,309. The first lease payment is due on the day of inception of the lease with 6 equal lease payments. The expected fair market value of the asset at lease end is $65,000. The lease includes a bargain purchase option of $35,000. So they're being offered in this lease to be able to buy the asset in addition to the lease payments for $35,000 when it's believed it's going to be worth much more. That's why it's considered a BPO. There is no lease residual value at lease end written into the agreement. Now, in practice, in reality, you could have a BPO and a residual value, but for demonstration purposes, we only want to look at one variable at a time. And here are your payments. Notice they are significantly less than $25,000 for the traditional lease because of that BPO at the end. This is a way to help our tenant lower their lease payments, but because of the time value of money, think of that $35,000 as a delay in payment. So it's overall it's going to increase the total payments to $156,596 because of the time value of money element. We're adding interest to that delay of the $35,000. That amount would have been in the regular payments of $25,000 had there not been a bargain purchase option. So again, to review the four criteria, and it's usually best to look at them in this order. Your textbook may or may not represent these in different order, but if you test for the easiest one first, and then go down the list. If you get a no, you look at the next one. If you get a yes, any of these, you don't have to look at all four of them. You only need to meet one to be a capital lease. So again, bargain purchase option, the lessor will subtract the present value of the BPO. The lessor will add it. The amounts will be equal.